Good Thursday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. This is your outlook for January 9th, 2014, and we're going to use the GFS again as a point of reference for today. And we have a high pressure that's going to be sitting right over top of us today, and it's going to be providing some moderating temperatures where it's not quite as cold as it has been over the last couple of days. I think we get up close to the freezing mark and actually above freezing as you get down towards Philadelphia. One concern we have is for the ice jams that are along the area rivers, along the Delaware, Susquehanna, and Lehigh rivers. If any ice jams are forming in those areas, once the temperatures start to warm up a little bit, you could have some of those ice pieces of ice starting to move as they melt, and could cause some blockage issues along the river, and in which case the National Weather Service has flood watches and flood warnings up for some areas here in downwind of where all that ice would go and settle down to. So just to if you don't live near the rivers here, just be aware of that there are there are flood watches and warnings up for those areas because of the ice jams and the chances for that to melt over the next couple of days. Do have a chance of precipitation, and this will actually be on Friday morning. Very light. There's going to be a warm front that's pushing through here, and just could touch up a few snow showers early on here. I don't think this accumulates much of anything at all. Maybe a coating here and there, but not a big deal. Running into some very dry air, but it is a warm front, warm air advected, so you could squeeze out some snow showers with that. But there is a chance that southern areas here, because it is warm air advection, even though the 32-degree line is way down to the south here, this is the 32-degree line, so this red line sitting down here. So anything that's north of this line here would be of the frozen variety. So you might have some sleet mixed in, you might have a little bit of very light freezing rain, but we're not expecting anything on a broad scale enough to really get into full alert mode with this, because it's just so light. Going over to the NAM model here, this is the NAM high res future simulated radar, and this is 3 o'clock in the morning. The NAM is showing this as snow, even a burst of snow coming across PA here, and then over the next couple of hours here, this is from 3 o'clock in the morning onward. Here's 4, here's 5, here's 6, and here is 7 a.m. So you see just some very light stuff here, not a big deal, very scattered, and the NAM is actually showing this as rain down here, even though the temperatures are below 32. So if that's the case, you might have some sleet, maybe a little bit of freezing, very light freezing rain, but overall not a big deal. I think mostly northern areas are looking at just a few snow showers for central and northern areas, I should say. Heading back to the GFS now, and we'll go beyond the system as we head towards the weekend. It's going to warm up behind this warm front, and we're going to have some rain that's going to move in here Saturday morning already, very early Saturday morning, but temperatures are going to be out of the south here, and you can see that clearly here with the isobars pointed pretty much from a southerly direction, maybe south-southwest, and that means you're going to have some very warm air that's going to be surging northward and out ahead of this front. The low pressure system is very strong, moving up from the western Great Lakes, and of course it has a cold front that's attached to it, just like this, that's going to be pressing to the east here, with a warm front way up to the north here. So since we're in that warm sector here, we're going to get those winds coming in from the southwest, or excuse me, south and south-southwest here, ahead of the front here, and when that moves through, and then we shift back to the west again. All right, so we go a little bit further here. Here is Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, and then maybe it looks like the GFS want to take this out of here pretty quickly. Might have something lingering into at least the first part of Saturday night as well, as far as rain showers go. Now, this cold front moves through, but it's not going to be ridiculously cold behind the front like it has been in when the previous fronts came through. Temperatures will drop on Sunday, but only dropping back about 10 degrees from what it was on Saturday, when we're expected to be up in the mid 60s, or excuse me, mid 50s, and maybe near 60 towards Philadelphia. Probably drop back about 10 degrees from that as we head to Sunday, and then we keep the moderating trend as we head into early next week, with no precipitation expected until we get to most likely we get into the Tuesday night, Wednesday time frame. We could be dealing with another system at that point. A little bit of a very, very strong disagreement with the models on that one. Really all over the place. GFS has a system going up to the Great Lakes, while the European model has one coming up from the south here. So they're really night and day as far as the synoptics are concerned. There's really no point even talking about that until we get a little bit closer. But we will have the moderating trend into January thaw, we think, through January 15th. So After that point, we think we start going back to a colder second half of the month, and we still maintain that idea as of this morning. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchich. That is your outlook for January 9th, 2014. Have a great Thursday.